My childhood crush rejected me because I wasn't attractive enough. Now she's a single mom dropping hints to reconnect. So for old time's sake, I turned her down. And honestly, her friends are losing their minds over it. I spent most of my childhood and early 20s grinding through school. I'm not naturally gifted, so I had to work twice as hard just to keep up. My parents pushed education hard, and I listened. Things finally slowed down later in college, and I started being more social. There was this girl in my circle. Let's call her Nat. I liked her, so I asked her out. She laughed. She said it was just because the question caught her off guard, but still, it stung. She told me she wasn't dating at the moment. Spoiler alert, she was definitely dating. Just not me. But I accepted it and moved on because what else do you do? I graduated, got a solid job in another city thanks to good grades and an internship connection. Two guys from work, Tony and Steve, both in their late 30s, took me under their wing. They hung out with me constantly, got me out of my shell. They also dragged me to the gym because, and I quote, they were tired of looking at my beanpole ass. I had a lot of fun. My body changed. My confidence grew. Tony and Steve are a couple, so whenever we go out, they were incredible wingmen. They taught me how to talk to people, how to read a room, how to not be so visibly anxious all the time. This happened over about 2 years. I'm still a bit awkward, sure, but I'm infinitely more comfortable in social situations now. I can hold a conversation. I can make people laugh. Therefore, when my family back home needed help, health issues, money problems, all that, I asked my job if I could work remotely. They said yes as long as I traveled back quarterly for big meetings. So I moved back home. A few weeks ago, I ran into Nat at the grocery store. She's raising a kid on her own now. Doing well for herself, apparently. We made small talk. It was fine. Normal. Then we ran into each other again at a mutual friend's party. That's when things got weird. She asked when I was going to ask her out again. I said the thought hadn't really crossed my mind. She looked offended, like visibly hurt. She asked why not. I told her I wasn't interested. I thought that was the end of it. I tried to remove myself from the conversation quickly because I felt uncomfortable. But Nat wasn't done. She found me again later and demanded to know why I wasn't interested. You were interested 2 years ago, she said. I told her that was 2 years ago, and she lied when she rejected me, so I haven't thought of her that way since. She got defensive. She said a normal person would be over that by now. Then she accused me of not wanting to date her because she's a single mom. I mean, honestly, yeah, I have no interest in dating single mothers right now. I'm literally just starting to date around. I don't want to deal with all the complications that come with that situation. But more to the point, and this is the real thing, I'm just not attracted to Nat anymore. I don't see her that way. I don't feel anything when I look at her. Why would I force myself into something I don't want? Therefore, I stood my ground. I said no. I left the party early. I thought it was over. But then her friends started blowing up my phone. Not just 1 or 2 messages. We're talking dozens. They were insisting I give her a chance. Saying she's a great person. Saying I owe it to her. Saying I'm being cruel. Some of them were borderline aggressive about it. Like I'd committed some moral crime by not wanting to date someone. Tony and Steve told me immediately that I don't owe her anything. They were firm about that. You're not a charity case for someone else's regrets, Tony said. Steve nodded. She had her chance. You don't owe her a second one, just because she's ready now. But some of my friends from home, they were saying I should at least give her a shot. What's the harm? They'd ask. My younger brother said I should try. My older sister told me to trust my gut. My parents didn't weigh in, but I could tell they thought it was messy. I didn't know what to do. The chaos of it all made me anxious. I don't like unresolved situations. They sit in my chest like a weight. Therefore, after reading through a bunch of advice online and talking to my sister, I decided to reach out to Nat. I asked if she'd meet me for coffee. I made it very clear this was not a date. It was 2 friends trying to clear the air because I didn't like all the noise from her friends. She agreed pretty quickly. She even apologized for any craziness, which gave me a bit of hope that maybe the conversation would be productive. We met at a local coffee shop. Well, tea for me. She showed up late, something about childcare stuff. Turns out her son's father is very much in the picture, just as a co-parent. They didn't work as a couple, but he's a good dad. Dedicated, caring, supportive. She's single by choice, basically because they couldn't make the romantic relationship work. I told her straight up that the last couple of weeks had been really stressful for me. Her friends contacting me felt overwhelming. I apologized if she felt hurt by my rejection, but I made it clear I wasn't sorry for saying no. She stopped me. She apologized too. She said she didn't mean for her friends to blow up my phone like that. They're just loyal and passionate. She also admitted she behaved poorly at the party and gave me context I didn't have before. Nat had just started dating again after being a single mom for a while, and it had been brutal. The last guy she went out with called her used goods and rejected her specifically for being a single mom. That was fresh in her mind when she saw me at the party. She said she was attracted to me, not just physically, but because I could actually hold a conversation now. I wasn't the socially awkward guy she remembered. She said she never meant to laugh when I first asked her out years ago. She was just genuinely surprised because she didn't think I saw her that way. I believed her. I do think she was surprised back then. I laugh when I'm nervous too, so I get it. She told me she was trying to flirt with me at the party, and when I rejected her, all the emotions from the last guy's rejection just took over. She complained to her friends, and they took it upon themselves to grease the wheels, as she put it. To her credit, the messages stopped after I reached out to her. Looking back, I think I may have overreacted a bit. When I reread some of the messages from her friends more objectively, they were advocating for us to be together, not attacking me. But all that attention at once felt like demands to me, and I panicked. I'm not used to that much social pressure. So we cleared the air. Everyone apologized. It's all a lot more mundane than I think people were expecting. No drama. No revenge. No grand declarations. We're still not dating. We're both okay with that. We did agree that if the opportunity presents itself down the line, like years from now, and the timing is right, maybe one of us could gently approach the idea again. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Honestly, I doubt it. But it's not a terrible thought. Just not one I'd entertain for at least a few years. I like my life the way it is right now. Here's the thing, though. Some people online and in my life told me I was being too nice. That I should stay away from Nat and her friends entirely. That the fact her friends thought it was appropriate to blow up my phone at all is a red flag. Tony and Steve definitely feel that way. They think the whole situation was unhinged. And maybe they're right. Maybe I'm too forgiving. Maybe I'm too eager to resolve conflict because I hate feeling anxious. Maybe I should have just blocked everyone and moved on. But I don't think Nat is a bad person. I don't think her friends are bad people either. I think they're generally good people who behaved poorly in a specific moment. I behaved poorly before too. I want someone to give me the benefit of the doubt if I messed up. So I try to do the same. I also think it's easy to make someone a villain when you only see them through one lens. The reality is that Nat was going through something hard. She was feeling rejected and raw, and she saw me. Someone she knew, someone who used to like her, and maybe she thought that could be a safe space. When it wasn't, she reacted emotionally. That's human. Do I think she handled it well? No. Do I think her friends should have stayed out of it? Absolutely. But I also think we worked it out like adults. We talked. We listened. We apologized. We moved on. A lot of people wanted this story to be about revenge or comeuppance. Like, she rejected you when you were a loser, so now you get to reject her when she's desperate. And I get why that narrative is satisfying. It feels like justice. It feels like balance. But that's not what this was for me. I didn't reject Nat to punish her. I rejected her because I genuinely don't feel anything romantic for her anymore. That's it. It's not about her being a single mom. It's not about her lying to me 2 years ago. It's just that the attraction isn't there. I can't manufacture feelings that don't exist. And I don't think I should have to. I think one of the hardest things about dating is that people expect you to justify why you're not interested in someone, especially if that someone is objectively a good person. Nat is smart. She's successful. She's caring. She has a lot of great qualities. But I'm still not interested. And that should be enough. You don't owe anyone your attraction. You don't owe anyone a relationship just because they're ready now, or because they've grown, or because they're going through a hard time. Connection doesn't work that way. It's not a debt you repay. When I rejected Nat the first time, well, when she rejected me the first time, I didn't demand an explanation. I didn't send my friends after her. I didn't guilt her into giving me a chance. I just accepted it and moved on. And I think that's what people should do when the roles are reversed too. Rejection sucks. I know that. I've been on both sides of it now. But it's part of life. And learning to accept it with grace is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. If I had pushed Nat back then, it would have been uncomfortable for both of us. If she had accepted out of guilt or pressure, it would have been a disaster. The same is true now. If I had said yes to her just because her friends were pressuring me, or because I felt bad for her, it would have been unfair to both of us. She deserves someone who's genuinely excited to be with her. And I deserve to date people I'm actually attracted to. I don't think I'm the villain here. I don't think Nat is either. I think we're just two people whose timing didn't line up. And that's okay. Not every connection is meant to happen, even if it feels like it should on paper. So yeah, I rejected my childhood crush twice. Once when I was awkward, once when I wasn't. And honestly, the second time felt way easier. You can't guilt someone into wanting you. and you shouldn't have to force yourself to want someone else. Attraction isn't something you owe. It's something you feel or you don't.